The sacred does not disappear, but it no longer protects.
What remains is not silence, but the removal of everything that made sound meaningful.
The event ends physically, but continues in the way it is remembered.
This was not the end of something, but the beginning of everything that followed.
The place appears unchanged, because change does not always leave visible marks.
The same wall no longer holds the same meaning once it has failed once.
This corridor remembers movement, even when no one walks through it.
The work was never completed, but time continues as if it had been.
The world repeats itself, but no one inside it believes in repetition anymore.
He survived the moment, but not the understanding of it.
The place where he slept remains, but he does not return to it.
The moment repeats in fragments, never in full.
It is still what it was, but it no longer does what it did.
The space remembers him longer than anyone else will.
The wind has not changed, but now it feels like it carries something.
A doorway that once separated worlds now proves it never could. The water removes the marks, but not what they meant.
The light still enters, but it no longer guarantees anything.
The space is full, but nothing that mattered is still inside it.
The event no longer belongs to one place, but to everyone who has heard it.
What was once questioned is now assumed without needing proof.
The horizon is no longer distant. It is always approaching.
The same routines continue, but they are no longer trusted.
The world has not ended, but it will never return to.
It begins the same way it always does, with nothing appearing wrong.
The difference is not in the world, but in the one who is now watching it.
This place was only the first to understand what was always possible.
No system built on assumption can survive the moment it is proven wrong.
And yet, it begins again.
The event has ended, but no one lives as though it truly has.
They are no longer watching the sea for weather, but for intention.
They do not all remember the same details, only the same fear.
They may return to prayer, but never to the certainty that once accompanied it.
He did not see what happened, but he learns how to fear it.
What cannot be seen at night is now imagined with greater clarity.
It is no longer about what has happened, but about what could happen next.
Stay close together now.
Did you hear that?
It no longer interrupts life. It becomes part of it.
Once something has been seen, it cannot be unseen by those who understand it.
They trusted what had never been tested, and it failed the moment it was.
Time is now divided between what existed before this and everything that follows. Uncertainty is no longer a possibility. It is now the condition of living.
This was not only the beginning of an age, but the end of a certain way of believing in the world.
The wind still moves the same way, but now it feels like it remembers.
The door was never closed again, because it could no longer mean safety. There is no visible trace left, but that does not mean nothing happened.
The light still enters, but no one believes in what it once promised. What remains is not what was lost, but the space left behind.
The world continues forward, but it carries this moment within it.
No one who understands this moment will ever look outward the same way again.
This was not an isolated moment, but the first sign of what would repeat.
There are no exceptions, only places that have not yet been reached.
It was never about the first time, only about the first time it was understood.
What was once assumed safe was never safe, only untested.
This moment does not end. It continues, wherever it is remembered.
There are no exceptions, only places that have not yet been reached.
It was never about the first time, only about the first time it was understood. The silence that follows is not peace. It is what remains after understanding.
It does not fade. It settles into everything that follows.
It is no longer clear when it happened, only that it always has.
They do not control it. They only live with the knowledge of it. It was never confined to one place, only revealed there first.
There is no returning to not knowing.
It will happen again, not because it must, but because it can.
It was always possible.
Nothing needs to be shown anymore.
And yet, it begins again.